How much am I going to tell you if I think you're not listening? Now, if this is in a long-term relationship, like mother, son, father, uncle, brother, whatever it is, let's say in a family, you speak to the level of listening. This is very, very important because intimacy, connection, feeling love, feeling close to someone comes when we listen to each other in a deeper and deeper way and honor what we hear. We don't use it to inflict pain or harm. We use it as a mosaic of that person's sharings, and each sharing is another piece of the puzzle. And there are certain pieces of the puzzle that are very important to us. And we don't want to share it with people, one, who aren't interested, two, who can't listen, and three, aren't there. They're not present. They're inside their own mind. They're inside their own world. And they really can't have interest. I think like a narcissist is someone who's just completely self-contained. Then they play games to hide it. To genuinely care, to genuinely have empathy, you have to have interest in the other person. And you have to want to follow their story. And humans, for the most part, especially, let's say in social situations, if you don't know somebody, you don't care. Why would you care? And we have these bubbles around us. And then we communicate from one bubble to the other bubble. Sometimes it lands, but most of the time it's a superficial pitter-pattering that goes nowhere, means nothing, and is like peeing off a ship in the middle of the night crossing the ocean. It's gone immediately, was never known. And we as human beings, we want to be seen. We want to be appreciated. We want to be heard. We want our words to mean something. But so often in the society, which has just eliminated layers of culture that are necessary, we're lacking. We're lacking that. And so we don't have the ability to generate meaning. There's no meaning and significance to our relationships because we're not tracking each other. There's not enough interest. We don't know the other person and we don't know ourselves. And that's the main problem. The main problem is the mind has been conditioned into a set of patterns that are sort of basic and are traps. And when you're in them, you don't know you're in them. You have to go through some sort of awakening process to break the spell, to start to see differently. And there's a huge difference in our culture between the people who can and can't see differently, between the people who are awake and the people who are not. And if you've had a genuine spiritual awakening experience, and if you've had one, you know what I'm talking about. These experiences are so utterly different from normal waking consciousness. They're so utterly different from how most people reference life. And when you think of a person like Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad or Lao Tzu or any of the spiritual masters that have left such a massive imprint because they broke through in a manner that is so much above in terms of levels of consciousness of normal human beings. We have access. We have access to so much, but our mind and our habits and the cultural conditioning we grow up in keep us in a certain place. And then there's these frequency fences that surround us that keep the frequency low to keep us in a state of basic slavery. If you're conditioned in your mind and you don't know it, and you're just going through life never questioning the bigger picture and what is occurring around you, that's not life. That's being a drone. And now we are at a point in our species evolution where there's this distinct difference between people who are wanting to build a new paradigm, are in a new paradigm, are at a totally different level of thinking than those people that are trapped in the old paradigm, trapped in fear, trapped in the lower emotions that are always stimulated by an outside force to change your inside force. And when you get to the point where nothing outside of you is really going to change that's what's inside you, you have more control over generating your feeling state in each given moment. Now, this is very important because if you look at addictions and you look at things going wrong in people's lives, it's because they're experiencing too much negativity in their feeling state. And they want to get out of that. So they do through some sort of medicine or alcohol, drug, whatever it may be. So having control over one's inner state and organizing your mind in such a way that is good for you, that you have positive beliefs about yourself, you have an accurate perception of reality. You have chosen how to design your inner world. We can format our minds. This is a huge thing. At some point, you are going to have to reformat your mind or you're stuck. You're stuck. And there's a lot more to say about that, but I think I've talked too much. Anyway, this is my Very Secret Plan, Captain Sweet message of the day. I hope you have a beautiful day and much love to you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.